Your down button is sticky. There we go. Okay. With this in mind, as I said, some of the information in the CV is going to look very much the same, or is going to be the same. You still want to talk about your education. You still want to talk about your experience. You still have to show that you're a part of organizations, that you have affiliations and contacts, and so on. But like I said, that information is going to appear very differently because the two documents are going to perform very different kinds of work. So in the case of the CV, what you have to do, as I said, is emphasize and highlight your scholarly achievements, the degrees you've been given, the awards you've garnered, the publications that you've produced, the presentations that you've done, your teaching experience, your service to the university, your affiliation with professional organizations, and then your references, your supervisors, the people that have helped you become what you are, and that can speak further about who you are. The resume, by contrast, is going to speak, as I said, more about skills and accomplishments within these institutional structures. So what makes you stand out as an able person who can be part of a larger picture? So who you are, your profile, your personality, your skills. Your education will also be important here, but also what kind of experience have you had doing the kinds of things that you want to impress a potential employer with your ability to do. Again, what kind of associations are you a part of, professional ones, that have helped you to establish that experience? How much involvement have you had in the community? Again, the resume shows that you are capable in a unique and distinctive way of being part of a larger institution or system. And so being able to work with teams and with other people in the communities is the kind of thing that on resumes are looked at very carefully. Interests, whether you can skydive or whitewater rafting or working with children on the weekends. I mean, these kinds of things in a CV would have no place at all. But in a resume, they're the kind of thing that make you stand out a little bit more as somebody who's able and experienced and skillful. Publications and conferences and presentations are also a part of a resume, but they tend not to have the same kind of quantity. The emphasis is less on quantity than it is on what happened in these productions. And so in a resume, you often end up summarizing the work that you've done in the way that you summarize yourself. And I'll let Marlene talk a little bit more about that as part of the resume writing process. And we can see that in the handout. Maybe we should actually hand these out. No, it's a good idea. Because I'll be starting to talk about this more. And again, in a resume, references are not included. A note here, in North America, even in resumes, we don't include photos of yourself, so don't go out and get a slappy 8x11. It's not Hollywood. I guess Hollywood is the exception here. You don't have to talk about how old you are. You don't have to talk about your marital status, your date of birth, talk about health issues. There are all kinds of legal conditions on what employers, in fact, can know about these different situations. And in fact, you'll notice in a lot of academic job postings, and I'm sure you've been hearing about these in other sessions or will do over the next couple of days, in some instances, it's actually universities and employers have to proclaim and say, we do not discriminate on any basis, and it's illegal for them to do so. So you simply do not have to tell them anything along those lines.
I'm sorry.
Yes, a question.
CV examples?
What's that?
Do you need some examples of a CV?
Let me clarify what we're handing out. Thank you. The white one is an example of a CV. The yellow one is an example of a resume.